What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae, across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And I hope all of y'all are having a great Friday. Hope your end of your work week is going smooth. Hope y'all about to enjoy Memorial Weekend. As a former vet myself, shout out to all those who could not make it here. So please make sure to pay your respects for Memorial Day weekend for those veterans who could not be here. But, guys, we are going to get into today's Friday docket. Just a few things I've seen come across the internet, and we're going to head and just honestly talk about it. And the first is about the Godfather himself, Adam Thielen. And so the question has now been posed, and apparently there's been some data to prove that the best deep threat target last year was Adam Thielen, actually. And come on now. We all know, like, the last 2 years, honestly, Adam Thielen has been Bryce Young's best friend. Like, there's no like ifs, ands, or buts about that. Adam Thielen has been one of the staples to help Bryce's confidence through and through. When times get tough, he knows he can throw it to Adam, and he was honestly prominent in Bryce's resurgence in the second half of last year. When you look at Adam in his career here at Carolina, 27 games played, 151 receptions, 1,629 yards, 9 touchdowns, 10.8 yards per catch. The man is phenomenal. Like, come on now. Like, he has all the answers. They call him the Godfather for a reason. They're in that receiver room. But turns out, Pro Football Focus actually has some data to suggest that he was the best deep threat in the NFL last season. I want y'all to see this. So, Pro Football Focus released their 2024 wide receiver deep grade and separation chart. And what this chart is showing is how much separation wide receivers were able to generate on deep routes, and then what they were graded at the point they caught the ball when they were targeted on those routes. And if you look here at the results, man, and I know I got that red little circle up in the top right corner, that's because you can notice in terms of deep separation, Davante Adams is the only name that goes further to the right than Adam Thielen. He's the only one that creates more separation. But then when you throw in the grade itself, Thielen has the highest grade by a mile, bro. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's far and beyond just recognition. And I know sometimes these advanced analytics, you can't really take everything into account, or you're just supposed to take them with a grain of salt because you're not supposed to look into it. But, bro, y'all remember the highlights last year. Adam Thielen really was a great deep ball threat. And it seemed like time and time again, if we were going to Thielen deep, Thielen was wide open by a large margin. Like, there are very few times I recall where the corner that he was being guarded by was literally on top of him. So, to me, it's kind of crazy, but it's also not crazy to think that Adam Thielen was the best deep threat target. When you think of deep threat targets, you're not thinking Thielen first thing off the top of your mind. You're probably thinking of a Justin Jefferson, of an old school like John Ross, Deshaun Jackson, Davante Adams, Jamar Chase. The list goes on and on. You see what I'm saying? Like, somebody, you just throw it up there. But the data shows Adam Thielen is actually one of them ones. And I think that is really cool. I think that is a phenomenal stat to look at. And hopefully it doesn't take a dip. However, with McMillan, with Coker, with Lee Gett, with Jimmy Horn, with Hunter Renfrow, and Thielen, as well as Mitchell Evans, Trimble, and Jatavian Sanders as well, that number's probably going to take a dip. That number's probably going to take a dip heading into this next season, but it's okay. If it turns into more wins for Carolina, it'll be a good trade-off. I am okay with the trade-off of that number dipping for Thielen if that means more games are turning into wins. However, I don't want Thielen to be completely left out of the receiver rotation. We need him. We need him to continue to be successful and continue to be a highlight in the offense. We can't just go ahead and automatically just get rid of him. Now that we got all these young receivers, we need our vet. We need our savvy vet to do the job when the receivers are just off, and we need somebody who's been in these clutch situations, who knows how to keep composure and do his thing. So I actually love that. Next, guys, So we got to talk about this real quick, and I don't know if y'all really noticed it, or honestly, some of you may care, some of you may not. We don't know. But apparently the Panthers have made some front office changes heading into the summer. And it kind of comes at a shock because it's a weird time for it. So per Joe Person of The Athletic, released an article just stating that the team has let go of a few people from the personnel department, and from the player personnel department. Those two individuals being Cole Spencer, who was the director of player personnel, as well as Robert Haynes, who was a college scout for the Panthers. Now, y'all may not know these names or at least know their faces, so I got you. Here's what you got. So, Cole Spencer, gentleman, he had spent 11 seasons with the Commanders before coming to us. While he was with the Commanders, he was a scouting intern, a Northeast area scout, Midwest area scout, Southeast area scout, and then a national scout. And then he joined us in 2021, where he became the college scouting director and then was promoted to director of player personnel in 2023. And then you follow that up with Mr. Robert Haynes. Mr. Robert Haynes, he's actually spent all 22 seasons of his career here in Carolina, starting way back in 2002. He started in the video department, moved over as a college scouting assistant in 2005. After that, he became a pro scout assistant, then would become a combine scout assistant. And then over the next 10 years, he was the Northeast area scout. He would become the Southeast area scout from 2020 to 2021. And then 2021 promoted to national scout he was promoted to national scout in 2021 and was there until obviously this past season, 2024. Now, with all of these moves and what's transpired and what has been said, put out by the team, they have said that the duties of these two individuals will be absorbed internally, and they're not actually going to replace or go out and get somebody to fill these roles, to replace Spencer or to replace Haynes. That kind of comes as a shock to me because, at least for Spencer, because I don't know too many teams who don't have a director over player personnel. You know what I mean? Even if it's headed up by one person, they have both of those titles. Like, I'm director of this and director of that. So I'm kind of shocked that they aren't at least hiring a director of personnel. College scout, okay, yeah, you could probably divvy that up amongst all your scouts. Cool, no issues there. But not having a director of player personnel and absorbing that internally, I don't know how that's going to work. I really don't. And to me, it feels like it may be adding more duties on the people who are already busy, but they may have done this reduction in force because they saw that there were some positions that were redundant. That could be a thing. How will it affect the Panthers going forward? We honestly will see, because now I think it's going to be more of a vote by committee rather than the director making the final say. So a lot more executives in the front office are probably going to have a lot more input. So, that actually might not be a bad thing in the end. We're going to see how this transpires. And then lastly, guys, saw a list, and apparently Ted McMillan leads the way in some rookie predictions, and I like it. Anytime we have a player leading a category in anything, whether it's rookies, whether it's vets, QB, D-line, linebacker, corner, I like it. I like to highlight the positives around here, man, because we've had too many negatives over the past few years, so we need all the positive highlights we can get. Say whatever you want. But Mike Clay of ESPN.com dropped his rookie leader predictions for the 2025 season, and going into 2025, he has T-Mac leading the way for the receivers. So here's what he has. So heading into 2025, this is who he feels like will be the top 5 receivers in this order in terms of receiving yards. Number 1, he has T-Mac at 926 yards with 5 TDs. Number 2, Matthew Golden, 889 yards, 6 TDs. Travis Hunter is 3 with 884 yards, 5 TDs. Jack Beck for Las Vegas will be 4th with 747 TDs, 747 yards, and 4 TDs. Try saying that 5 times fast. And then Jaden Higgins in Houston with 723 yards and 4 TDs as well. And to be honest, this this is not a bad stat line by any means, especially because one, all those receivers were taken in the first round, and they based those numbers and those predictions off of the last 17 first round wide receivers, and 13 of those 17 first round wide receivers put up at least 865 receiving yards in their rookie years. So, this is not bad company. And 926 for T-Mac, honestly, looks like a relatively responsible number considering he is the number one draft pick. They're probably going to try and give him the ball a lot, but also spreading it out through committee. So if he doesn't reach 1,000, that's okay. Because Liga, he had 400 and I want to say 65 yards last year. I know Coker had 465. So, and we all know that passing game last year was not great. Like, our passing game was great towards the end of the year, but the first half of the year, it wasn't great. So, maybe a little high, but it is possible for T-Mac to get those numbers depending on how much he is being utilized. But honestly, the other thing about it, I will say this. Because we have all these receivers now in T-Mac, Liggett, Coker, Thielen, Horn, as well as the tight end room with Evans, Sanders, and Trimble, the numbers are possible to go up and be that high because now teams have to respect every receiver and every tight end. And not to mention Hubbard and Rico Dowdle out the backfield, and potentially ETN too. You have to respect every receiving aspect in the offense now, which opens up everybody for more opportunities for one-on-one coverage. And one-on-one coverage is pretty easy. Well, not easy, but you know what I mean. It helps out for a receiver if all they have to do is just beat their man rather than having to worry about somebody sitting in zone also coming and cracking down on the ball. You get what I'm saying? All right. But also, guys, the thing that I didn't like about this rookie prediction list is there was no other love for the Carolina Panthers on this list, especially for our edge rushers. Our rookie edge rushers in Umamielen and Scorton did not get any love in the D-line category for sacks because Clay had these 5 D linemen as the top 4 sacks out of rookie edge rushers. Abdul Carter at number 1 with 6 sacks. Mikael Williams tied at 6 sacks at number 2. Jalen Walker for Atlanta at 6 sacks. And then James Pierce at Atlanta with 5 sacks. And Shamar Stewart in Cincinnati at 5 sacks. Now, first of all, Mr. Clay, I don't like the fact that you put both edge rushers from the Atlanta Falcons, our division rival, on this list, but we don't get no love. I'm sorry. I just don't like that. You could have put one of them and then one for us, but both of them and neither for Umamielen and Scorton. Nah. Respectfully, hey, Princely, Nick, I want y'all to take that personally. I want y'all to take that personally just to prove him wrong. I want y'all to show him that, hey, you should have put us on this list. You should have been looking out for us. That's what I would love. And that's what I'm challenging you to do. That's what I'm challenging you to do. Make this man look wrong for disrespecting you. But it's predictions, you know. The ESPN the analysts, they got to make their money. They got to write the things that get us riled up and get us invested into it. It's clickbait at times, and you know what? It works. It works at times. But, guys, that's all I have for today's episode. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell at the bottom so you can always be reminded when these videos are dropping. 2, make sure to comment below and let me know what are, honestly, your thoughts about Adam Thielen being the best deep target in the NFL. Do you feel that these front office changes are going to have a big effect on Carolina, or will it be very minimal? And 3, did they get it right with T-Mac leading all rookie receivers? Did they disrespect our edge rushers in Umamielen and Scorton? And did they miss anybody else that they should have had on this rookie list? Because it was QBs, receivers, running backs, total tackles, which a lot of it was corners and linebackers, and interceptions as well. And everything in between, because at the end of the day, guys, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all you Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. And as always, Keep pounding. I'll see you next time.